For sale is my 1948 John Deere B tractor. It's a real farm tractor. We did a lot of work on it. When I bought it, it was in excellent shape mechanically. Cosmetically, it was maybe a B or a C. So we took it all apart, repainted it, put new rims on it, and got her back in perfectly good working order. It works like a champ. Today, we're going to showcase my 1948 John Deere B tractor. It's a two-cylinder tractor, and I've owned this tractor since 2005. And let me talk a little bit about it. When I got it, it ran very well. The guy rebuilt the engine and went over a lot of the mechanical stuff. He was a good mechanic, but the body was in pretty rough shape. Although he did put a patch in where the muffler normally goes. But we took it all apart, as you'll see some from these pictures. And from what we did then is we painted it. We kind of restored it cosmetically, so it looks like it does now. It's been stored inside of our garage since then, so it's lived a pretty comfortable life. We do use it. We used to use it for pulling a 15-foot wide gang mower, and I used to use it for other light-duty work, pulling big water jugs, water tanks around. But we don't use it anymore, so it's time for another curator to take this bad boy over. And let me just talk a little bit about it. It's good. I'll show you it running. So it's not very clean because it's been outside for a little while. But when we painted it with DuPont paints, Chroma Base, Chroma Clear. There is a couple little nicks in it. It's not 100% perfect, but we're not talking big rust marks. That's not a nick, that's a dirt. Okay. It runs well. It's always had aviation gas in it. As you can see, the gasoline is blue. Okay. We also, when we got it, we put new rims in the tires because farmers like to put calcium chloride in the tires in the 50s and 40s and whatnot. So we ended up putting new rims on. I welded new rims onto this guy. It's the original centers, and you put replacement rims on them. The gauges are all new. Well, they're not new. They're 15 years old now, but they are professionally done gauges. They all work as expected. Well, I don't know where the fuel gauge is. Oh, there is no fuel gauge. Okay. There's not a whole lot else to know about this thing. I did buy the proper John Deere decals. They look great. The lights work. The battery charges. This thing runs on a 6-volt system as designed. And some people say, well, why do you want it run on 6 volts? Change it to 12 volts. Well, the reality is in 1948, when they built this bad boy, it ran fine on 6 volts. So it'll run fine on 6 volts today. All you have to do is put the right size wire going from the battery. So use heavy enough gauge wire and it works fine on a 6-volt system. I did have to replace my voltage regulator last year, which is a challenge in itself because 3 of them I bought from eBay didn't work. But thank you, Saeed, the repair guy down in Annapolis, ended up hooking me up and fixing it up. So when you see this start, it'll be a fresh start for the day because it's been sitting in the garage and I just brought it outside to get it started. And to show you that, oh, that's hot. No, just kidding. Okay, obviously this is not hot, and if it was hot, I would probably be crying or screaming or something like that. But it's cold, so you'll see it for a cold startup. We also, as you can see, well, this is, how come it's not rusted? You never run it? Yeah, we do run it. Ceramic coating. So it is, when we rebuilt it, we ceramic coated the exhaust pipe, and it's held up pretty well. I did use the original type hoses and hose clamps, and they work pretty well. A little bit of a modification is the chrome exhaust stack, which adds that extra power to it. It is loud. Well, it's not loud, but maybe doesn't meet standards by today's standards, but it does work pretty well. Well, when I built this thing, we took a lot of care in it. So for instance, when I had these little bolts, I put a vinyl washer, rubber washer on it so it didn't chip the paint. I did that. That's the type of care I took into this guy. And we still do, and we take a lot of care and pride in it. All right, well, here we are. Here's another quick video of the John Deere B starting up 1948. Somebody say, well, why are you getting rid of this? Well, I've had it for 15, 17 years, actually. It's time for somebody else to own it. We're just not using it. But it starts like it's supposed to. It hasn't run for several days, more than that. I just pulled it out of the garage. Let's crank it over and let her rip and see what it sounds like. Make sure she's in neutral. A tiny bit of gas. Turn the fuel on. The fuel goes into my thing here. A little bit of choke and a little bit of... and that's what she's supposed to sound like, and that's how she's supposed to run. I'll do a little video riding the thing around a little bit, and that'll be kind of fun too. But let me walk around some so you can see some more of it. This does not have a 3-point hitch and no power steering. If you can show me where the water pump is, you can have it. It's free. Anybody that can show me the water pump gets to own it at no additional cost. The bottom line is, it's a thermal siphon system. There is no water pump on this thing, which is kind of cool. It has shutters up front, and the shutters work. The shutters work as it's supposed to. So you open the shutters up, more air goes by. Close them out, less air goes by. So what else can I tell you? Let's take it for a quick spin. Oil pressure, water's still low, battery's all charged up. Second gear now. Speed this process up some. Hang on, that's road gear. Well, that's about it. There's our ride on the 1948 John Deere B. Everything that works as expected. Get a little bit of heat out of it now. There's no smoke. The brakes work as expected. It works very well, actually. The gear driven. The magneto is hot. It works fine. There's no problems with the tractor. The paint looks really, really nice. We love it. And hopefully it'll go to somebody who will enjoy it too. So that's it. And it idles pretty low. So this is important. This is this thing idle. So I think it's trying to win the contest in low idle. Let's speed it up just a little bit. All she wrote. It's a fine running tractor.